Alright, we're on to page 5 of the Unit 8 review for 4th period Algebra 2. Okay, we are still in 6.2, Chapter 6, Section 2. We're simplifying, assume that each radical represents a real number. So 54, remember that 54 is 9 times 6, okay? So that's 9 times 6, and then x to the 7th is x to the 6th times x. This I can simplify with the 9 and the 6. The square root of 9 is 3. Square root of x to the 6, we divide 6 by 2 and I get x cubed. And then I'm left over with the square root of 6x. Okay, so that's your answer there. And over here, this is a little bit harder. Square root of c to the 4th is c squared. On the bottom, that's d squared times d, so I'll get d square root of d on bottom. And then I've got to rationalize the denominator, so I need a square root of d and a square root of d. Okay, and so that means when I deal with this stuff right here, I get another d. That's just square root of d times square root of d is d. So I end up with c squared square root of d over d times d, or to finish it out, c squared square root of d over d squared. Let's go 6.3. Okay, simplify. If no simplification is possible, say so. We are adding radicals. So 27 is 9 times 3, the square root of 9. And this is 4 times 3, so the square root of 9 is 3, square root of 3, plus 2 square root of 3 equals 5 square root of 3. 5 root 6 minus 6 root 5, we can't do that, so that's not possible. Simplify what we can simplify. That's 16 times 2, that's 25 times 2, that's 49 times 2. So we'll get 4 root 2 minus 5 root 2 plus 7 root 2. Okay, and so I just look at 4 minus 5 plus 7. So that's 6 root 2. We've already got a common denominator, 3 and 3. So I can take that and I can say that is the square root of 50 minus the square root of 2 over the square root of 3. Remember, I can write this up square root of 50 minus square root of 2, square root of 3 over square root of 3. Okay, so now I need to rationalize the denominator. Okay, so I can't have a square root in the denominator, so I've got to multiply. So I do that. That gives me a 3 on the denominator, because square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. Alright, and then I got to distribute. I got to do that. Okay, so that's the square root of 150. Got to do that. That's the square root of 6. Some of this will simplify. For instance, 150 is equal to 25 times 6. Okay, and the square root of 25 is 5 root 6. So I have 5 root 6 minus root 6 over 3. Well, if I have 5 minus the unwritten 1, okay, 5 minus 1 root 6 gives me 4 root 6 over 3. 5 minus 1 is 4, root 6 over 3 cannot simplify. Okay, now we got to distribute. That's the square root of 64. Alright, 2 times 12, that's plus the square root of 24. Square root of 64 is 8. 24 is 4 times 6, so that's 2 square root of 6. Oh, I can divide into each of these. I can do this, and I can do this. And so I get square root of 2 minus 90 divided by 5 is the square root of 18. Well, I can simplify that. That's 9 times 2. So I've got the square root of 2 minus 3 root 2. And guess what? I've got 1 root 2 minus 3 root 2, so that's 1 minus 3, which is negative 2 square root of 2. That's it for page 5. Page 6 will be coming up next.